It's time now for our Great British Debate this hour, and I'm asking, is the work-from-home culture destroying our society? Now, Citibank has started to monitor how often their employees work from home, warning bonuses could potentially be docked from those who don't show up at least 3 days a week. HMRC have recently come under fire after it revealed that only 1 in 5 members of its staff were working in the office during the month of July. So for the Great British Debate this hour, I'm asking, is work from home, is the culture destroying our society? So I'm joined now by Matthew Stadlen, political commentator, Michael Kill, he's the CEO of Nighttime Industries Association, Vicky Price, the Chief Economic Advisor at the Centre of Economic and Business Research, and Charlie Mullins, the founder of Pimlico Plumbers. Charlie, I'm going to start with you. The very fabric of society, do you believe it's sort of been eroded by this culture where people, the whole socialisation of people coming to work and working together and working in teams, do you think that working from home is affecting and eroding it?
Yeah, in many, many ways. Besides productivity, you can't train people. Youngsters are going to get bad work ethics because they're not mixing with people. You're getting a situation of multi-pooled workers trying to work from home, all in the same room, all the same type of distractions that you're getting. And everybody you talk to that works from home seem to think they're more productive, but they're not more productive. The golf courses at the moment are packed, where the people are supposed to be at work, but they're on the golf course. So they are, it's a fact. I mean, there's a golf course now where I live, it's never been so busy. And all these people are working people. There's many reasons why. I mean, and youngsters, it's ruining youngsters' futures. You know, they're never going to be able to get a job and say that they've had work experience. I mean, at the moment, we have 1 or 2 days work experience, and that's very valuable to youngsters. From home, they're not going to get it. So I think from a youngster's point of view, you're going to ruin their future. They're going to see their parents working from home and be under the impression that that's the way forward. And you're going to have mental health problems. You're going to have no new businesses are going to start up. Why would you start up a business knowing that your workers are running the show? So you've got no control over it. Unfortunately, we can't trust people to work from home. Possibly 10%, yes. The other thing, it's an unfair system, very, very unfair. And the fact that many other people are going to lose their job, you know, the taxi driver, newspaper man, shop, restaurant, etc. I actually think it's a very selfish thing that people are doing, and I think the only ones that should work from home are the ones that have got no choice, i.e. a disability, or they have got to look after somebody, but you would take them on that basis. When I start my new business, nobody will be working from home.
Right, well, that's very comprehensive there. Matthew Stadlen, you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
No, it's just entertaining listening to Charlie. I mean, Charlie's a hugely successful businessman.
Yes,
he set up Pimlico Plumbers. We're not talking about the majority of society here. We're talking about some areas of society. For example,
there's a lot of areas.
For example, you cannot work from home if you're a plumber. And I don't know that many people who go to work by taxi. Listen, you can look at different ways of analysing the economics here.
Hold on a second. You know what I meant by getting a taxi or getting a bus. I mean, there's no point in trying to be clever. You know what I meant by what I was saying.
Well, I've no idea what you mean about people going to work on taxis, Charlie. I've never gone to work in a taxi in my life.
Via taxis.
There is an argument, of course.
Wait. Let Charlie respond. Sorry, briefly, Charlie, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just saying, let's get on with the real thing, but let's not take it out of proportion, whether it be a plumber, call centre. I wouldn't want my call centre staff to be taking home personal information that other people could see, and nor would my customers.
No, I understand that. I actually agree with that last point. All I'm saying is this is not the majority of society. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages. You could look at the economic impact. Some people will say it's been positive. Some people will say it hasn't been positive. The economy doesn't seem to have been too badly disrupted. We've been reading in the media just this week. Listen, you can avoid the commute. You can save sometimes 2-3 hours a day if you work at home. There's a very strong argument that flexibility is a good thing. You'll probably lose fewer days to sick leave because you can work at home if you're feeling not that well, whereas you might not go into the office otherwise. I love being in a studio. I make the effort to come into the GB News studio because it's much better. I'd prefer, Charlie, if you and all the other guests were here with me so we could debate. I think you lose creativity, you lose some human interaction. action. But a bit of flexibility can't be a bad thing. And the idea one more thing, the idea
briefly, because I've got to get
that
Michael
you're
in.
sucking the heart out of the centres of cities, that's possibly true, but then neighbourhoods will benefit. Businesses in local neighbourhoods will benefit.
We've got it. Let's get Michael Kill in. Michael, what do you think?
Listen, there are some really key points that were sort of brought up there. I mean, just from our perspective as an industry, I mean, it has crucified our sector. Restaurants, bars, pubs are heavily hit by that change in behaviour where some of the workforce, particularly in inner cities, have been having 2 or 3 days at home, and they're normally used for meeting places, lunches, after work drinks, etc. And alongside that, with industrial action, which has almost forced people to stay at home, people have got used to things. I mean, while I appreciate that furlough was a really, really good thing for us sustaining that pandemic period, it also created this lethargy within the workforce in some spaces. So it created a very difficult environment for us. But without a doubt, our industry has been massively hit, and it's still trying to recover and almost been hit with this double whammy in cost inflation off the back of the pandemic as well. But we're still suffering heavily with people actually working 5 days a week, 7 days a week in some cases. I think it's down to...
I need to get Vicky in briefly because we've got to go to the news. Vicky.
Well, if you look at how the economy has been performing, as we heard, it's been doing quite well despite the fact people are working from home. But there is a certain amount of inequality that's been creeping in. Those who tend to get paid more are the ones who have more of a choice and are able to work from home. Those who are lower paid seem not to have that choice. So we have actually widened that gap that existed. But when we look at people's well-being, the majority of responses we get when you ask people how do they feel about working from home is that their well-being has improved. If their happiness improves,
Well, listen, we've run out of time, but it's really good to get your thoughts. Charlie Mullins, founder of Pimlico Plus. Thank you very much, Charlie. Matthew Stadlen, Michael Kill, also Vicky Price, Chief Economic Advisor and the Centre of Economics and Business Research.